foolery. So we're going to see what we can make happen in these next few hours. We'll see. One of the long-held beliefs of poker vloggers worldwide is that you can record 99% of hands, but as soon as you turn off the camera, for any reason, you'll miss the big one. That tenet holds true here. So I've just done the mid-session update, the one that you just saw, and I've returned to the table. My phone, which is normally on a stand, is currently in my pocket, and this happens. I open pocket nines from the low jack, and the gentleman in the cutoff calls. The 8 seat, who also happens to be the big blind, calls as well. 10, 7, 8 with 2 hearts. The big blind checks, and I continue for $90 with my pair and straight draw. Surprisingly, I get raised by the cutoff to $320, and the big blind folds. This raise I was not expecting, and it screams super strength as the villain is raising with 2 people still left in the hand, one of which has chosen to lead the flop. I do have decent equity here, but could find myself in a really weird spot unless that turn comes very favorably. Note that a very weird spot doesn't mean I'm behind. This particular villain is very aggressive and definitely could be taking this line with a flush draw. I call. All that very weird spot stuff is a distant memory when the Jack of Clubs slides in as our 4th community card. I donk. $650. My donk puts the cutoff on his heels a bit and was obviously unexpected. He fiddles with his chips for a while before calling the $650. The River King of Clubs isn't a complete brick, as it does bring in a hand. One combination of one hand that I can no longer beat. That would be Ace Queen of Hearts specifically. That's it. That's not enough of a worry to give me pause. If I lose to that one combination, then I just lose. I slide $800 into the middle, but the cutoff quickly folds. That's where the yellow 1K chip came from. A sizable pot for sure, but if you think this is the only big pot I get into with this player, you're wrong. We get into another monster later. Shortly after that hand you didn't see with pocket nines, I play another hand in which I open ace-10 offsuit from the button to $30. The small blind, the same aggressive player that was the cutoff from the hand you didn't see, and the big blind both call. Flop, 8 of hearts, 4 of clubs, ace of hearts. Both blinds check and the action is quickly back to me. 9 times out of 10, this is just a slam dunk c-bet with top pair, decent kicker. However, there are many ways to play a hand. In this instance, I'm dealing with a very aggressive small blind, and aggressive players like to bet when they sense weakness. That's what they do. They love it. If I check back this hand, the small blind won't be able to help himself. Watch. I check. The turn deuce of spades shouldn't matter much. Population isn't as in love with 3-5 suited as I am. True to form, the small blind leads for $80. Told you. Didn't I tell you? The big blind folds, and I have a very easy call with a pretty under-repped hand. The river 8 of clubs pairing the board is good in one way. If the small blind did have ace-4 exactly, I just leapfrogged him. It's bad in another. It's possible, although maybe unlikely, that he led the turn with middle pair and now has trips. He leads again here, and just like the turn, he chooses a big size. $220. The bigger river sizing dissuades me from raising, which honestly would have been thin to begin with. So I call. He tables ace of diamonds, 9 of clubs, and is a bit taken aback when I show him that I pipped him. I think I end up getting the max with the check-back line that I took. About 10 minutes after that, we get into yet another hand heads up. This one starts with me opening ace-queen of spades from the hijack and him raising to $90 from the button. I call. 8-3-6 with 2 spades. I check my nut flush draw and he continues for $100. My hand is way too good to fold, And if I check raise and he does something that he's very capable of doing, like shoving with a set, or even a lesser flush draw, I'd be in a pretty bad spot. I call. The turn pairing the 6, and thus obviously not a spade, is a disappointment. I check again, preparing to fold when the big bet I'm expecting comes in. But it doesn't. He checks it back. With all my hopes resting on the river, I'm again disappointed. The deuce of diamonds. So do I check again and hope to win with ace high? I mean, I can. However, him being very aggressive yet checking back the turn leads me into believing he doesn't have very much. If I lead here, I might be able to get him off some of his 3-betting range. He may fold a hand like ace king, for instance. I lead for $160 and he quickly folds. As a side note, because I know some of you are thinking, man, I want this guy in my game. I'm going to say that you probably don't. A lot of his aggressiveness you see here may stem from the fact that he's playing much, much smaller than he normally does. He's often playing 100, 200 plus, and is definitely one of the biggest winners, if not the biggest winner, in the 25-50 game in Bobby's room. He's just slumming it right now.
Best way to win with it, uncontested.
What's that?
I said best way to win with that hand is uncontested. That's it.
You are telling the truth, sir.
If you get it down with a bet, you're ahead. I watch some of the people you do too. They get cooked nuts with it in early position. They think it's gold. It ain't. It's a pair of deuces wear its ass out.
All day, yeah. Yeah.
Like it's dinner time, looking like it's winter time. Even on my worst day, you can tell I'm still a vibe. Big pot, dug up in notorious, so glorious. Run it up, know I got the drive and I'm flooring it. Catch me with the stars, got me looking like a horoscope. Never take a loss, that's a lesson, I got more to go. Automatic, when I'm on, I got you scared straight. If I'm never not on point, that's a rare day, never pin. Level up, I'm on a staircase, war paint. I ain't moving here with a bare face. If you trying to have a war, it's a war zone. Gatekeepers always trying to keep the door closed. I'm just moving to the beat of my own drum. Cause I am the one. I am the one. Cause I am the one. I am the one. Cause I am the one. If you trying to take a shot, show some. Know my rules, stand my ground, don't run. Try your best, but it won't be enough. I'm the one.
I'm going to show you two hands that were played back to back to help illustrate the importance of knowing your villain's tendencies. I open ace king suited from the under the gun 2 spot in this first hand to $30. The player in the low jack is my only caller. The flop of 7-6-8 with 1 diamond gets checked through. The turn jack of diamonds also gets checked through. I finally end up making a pair on the river when the king of spades shows up. I bet $30 and he folds, showing me ace 5 of diamonds and bemoaning the fact that he didn't have a hand, but almost had a hand, etc.
If you get there, maybe I can get there. When I got the 4th diamond, I said maybe I can make a hand. Hey. Hey, I had to open in his straight.
You had a lot going on.
Yeah. That's when you know you're not going to catch it. Hey, you might catch a 2-outer.
Yeah.
Hey, a damn 15-outer. He ain't catching. You forget me. Tell somebody, if you count them on your fingers and toes, your shit's up. You're done. You look up and you call a big bag because, God, look at all the house I got. I can't miss. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
That goes into the memory bank. The very next hand, I open pocket jacks from under the gun to $20. The same player, now in the under the gun 2 spot, calls, and our actiony friend in the low jack calls as well. There are 3 of us this time. Queen of hearts, 6 of diamonds, 5 of clubs. I check and the under the gun 2 player bets $40 into about 75. The low jack folds and action is back on me. So, the player that decided not to 3-bet ace 5 suited and also decided not to bet flop or turn when check 2 twice on 7, 6, 8 jack after flopping an open ender and turning the nut flush heads up is now betting this queen high flop into 2 players? Well, we can clearly rule out that he has a draw. He's been playing extremely value-based. So what am I beating? Nothing. Easiest fold in the world. Yeah.
You got a much better hand. You beat 4 high. Yeah, you beat 4 high.
I do beat 4 high.
I don't know. I'd probably beat you down. Now I know you got that.
No, I should.
I know you got that. I can probably beat that.
I've noticed there is a little too much joking and tomfoolery going on in these games you play. Are you not serious? Do you not realize this is a game meant to send your adversaries into financial ruin? This is why you will never make it to the top, like I will. Joke, joke, joke. Is this also funny to you, Mr. Giggles?
Stand my ground, don't run. Try your best, but it won't be enough. I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm the one. Only thing I look up to is the sun. About the gates, put in work for the funds. Through the pain, coming first, get it done. Cause I am the one. I am the one. Cause I am the one.
The table is good and stacks are getting deep when this hand happens. The straddle is on and I look down at aces from the cutoff. That's a damn good starting hand. Action reaches the hijack, who in my opinion is a pretty good player and as you can see from the video, is having a damn good session. He opens to $50. Well, that's not enough. I raise the stakes to $200 expecting action to fold back around to the hijack and for us to take it from there. But that's not what happens. What happens is the small blind gets involved via a cold call first, then when action finally returns to the hijack, he also finds the call, and now we're headed to the flop 3 ways. Please, poker gods, just don't flop me dead. Jack, 8, 7 with 2 hearts. Damn it! This isn't the best flop in the world, not by a long shot. This flop might be a problem. The small blind checks. The hijack checks. There are a million bad things can happen this deep if I bet this flop. Who knows what the small blind is cold calling with, but the hijack is very capable of not only just holding jacks, but also holding all the straight and flush draws. This could get messy if I just start firing out. I check behind. The turn pairs the 8, and more importantly, it isn't a heart, as I don't have the ace of hearts. The turn actually makes me feel a ton better. Flop 2 pair combinations are less likely now. Remember what I said about the player in the small blind when he senses weakness? Well, he stays true to form and leads out for $320. And the hijack calls with almost no hesitation. My number one concern here is Jack's full. But I'm not folding yet. I call. The river, well, it makes matters worse. It's the 10 of clubs. So now, if either player was holding on with pocket 10s, because that's a flopped gutter, I'm dead. The small blind checks. Good. That means he has nothing, or at least very little. And following him, the hijack checks too. Whew. I'm probably in the clear then. Neither player is checking a full house here. That'd be silly. So now the question is, can I bet, get called, and still win most of the time? I discount the small blind from having much, so I focus my thoughts on the hijack. I can't beat jacks or 10s or 9s for that matter. Ace jack is unlikely due to card removal, Kings and or queens is very likely. Like, very, very likely. Everything else, like king, queen of hearts for instance, well, that's just gonna fold anyway. I tank on this one. This is pretty thin. I settle on $500, which I felt was enough to possibly get a crying call from queens and definitely a call from kings. The small blind thinks about this for a couple seconds and then releases his hand. Now the hijack tanks for a while. Fiddles with his chips and picks up pocket queens and folds. Huh? You shot that for me.
I wasn't real sure if you had the aces there, if you had jacks.
I had jacks.
I was like, huh?
I had jacks.
Did you have jacks?
I had a set of jacks.
Did you? That's what I thought you might have had. I just turned and saw aces turn up. He had aces.
He had aces.
And I was like that. I said, he's either got the jacks or he's got the aces. I didn't, and I turned around, paid her. All I saw was the aces laying up. Yeah. I was like, shit.
No, I had
No, you had the jacks.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to get some value out of that. I said, look at me. He's trying to get him a little value there. There. It's nice when it's nice when that damn hand does actually make a winning hand.
About 30 minutes or so had passed, and when the next dealer came in for the dealer change, that was enough. Between the Venetian meetup game and this long session, I hadn't been home in over 24 hours. Okay, session's over, and in that session, man, can I pick up aces? Can I pick up aces and have them hold up? Wow. All right, good session at the Bellagio. Left up around 4K-ish, but you know, sometimes it's just time to go, even if it's not even 5 o'clock on a Friday. Wow, it's only 5, it's not even 5. We might come back. Maybe, probably not. I'm not coming back. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna rest. I haven't been home in almost 2 days, it feels like, a day and a half. So yeah, let's just wrap this thing up. Let's hope I get home safe, because I shouldn't be recording and driving. Very dangerous. So if you like the vlogs, leave me a comment, subscribe. I'll probably respond to the comment, maybe, who knows, probably. And I'll catch you later. If I don't die in this, okay, bye.